Thursday's evening on Vancouver Island. We welcome you to Kakenishtuk Stadium for leg 2 of our Friday night doubleheader as Harbourside FC, the men's team, welcome Rivers FC from Kamloops. Good evening, everybody. My name is Alex Ronsley. Pleasure to be with you here this evening. The women for Harbourside coming off a 4-1 victory over Rivers, and the men looking to try and complete the home sweeping doubleheader for the first time this season. Plenty to get to on and off the pitch ahead of our 8:15 kickoff. We'll, of course, chat with Kevin Lindo, the head coach of the Harbourside men's program, coming up in our pre-game show. We'll bring you all the action of the game here today, and we'll, of course, get you your starting lineups and weather forecast, which is a lot better, actually, than we actually expected. The weather forecast that we have will not necessarily tell the story of what we have had this evening in terms of the conditions, but by and large, just absolutely ideal conditions out there for players. Not only for the women's game, which kicked off at 6, but for the men kicking off here in about 10 minutes' time. The men for Harbourside have not played since June 4th, and from their perspective, the less said about that game, the better. A 4-0 loss on the road to Unity. That has had to sit with them for 14 days, as the last time that they were in action, or near 14 days, I should say, was the last time that they were in action, and that has to sit with them, and no doubt will be frustrated and focusing on moving on from that result here this afternoon. Their opponents, Rivers, their last one was a 1-1 draw against Victoria, hosting them last week, scored in stoppage time in order to salvage a result in that one. Rivers 2-2-3 this season, good enough for 8 points. They currently sit 1 point ahead of Harbourside with a record of 1-4-3 and 7 points. In fact, we'll look at our standings through the men's division so far, really split into 2 groups. You've got a top 5, which are 2 points separating all those 5 teams, and then you've got a bottom 3 where 3 points separate those teams. Unity and the Victoria Highlanders currently atop the division. Unity a record of 4-2-3 for 14 points. The Highlanders 4-2-2 for the same. A point back is TSS at 4-1-2, and the Vancouver Whitecaps at 3-4-1. And then a point back from them with 3 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses is Nanaimo FC. So that's the logjam at the top, and a win or a loss on any given day could really see that order change, and we'll see that through the weekend with several key matchups. And then a bit of a gap, 4 points, in fact, to Rivers, and they can close that with a win here this evening. Harbourside can leapfrog Rivers on 7 points, and then in 8th place, Altitude with 1 win, 2 draws, and 5 losses. They have 5 points on their season to date. Rivers will be in Victoria tomorrow to take on the Highlanders. That is the lone game in League 1 BC action on Saturday, and then a pair of games on Sunday. TSS will take on Altitude, and then Nanaimo, with a chance to go top of the table, depending on some other results, obviously, will take on Unity in action on Sunday afternoon. We'll turn now to our feature interview in our pre-game show, and that is with head coach Kevin Lindo. And we started off by talking about this elephant in the room, that is the 2-week break. A positive, you get a chance to work, you get a chance to rest, you get a chance to tweak things that need to be tweaked through practice, but a negative in the fact that it takes you out of that routine, that game action as well. Spoke with Kevin earlier tonight just to discuss how the team has handled 2 weeks off.
Yeah, definitely. A few lads banged up, but nothing serious, which is great. I think that's a testament to how the lads keeping themselves and how we've periodised the programme as well. But yeah, it was a well-needed break, I think, physically and mentally, and the guys have been training well.
In terms of the way that this team has played, I think a couple of results, you take away the last one, the 4-0 a result 2 weeks ago, a couple of back-to-back draws. I wanted to ask about finding that decisive goal, finding that extra goal, finding that footprint on a game to kind of stamp an authority on a game. How do you feel your team has done in that respect this year, and sort of what's required to find that breakthrough goal?
Well, finding a goal would be nice. Yeah, we just haven't been good enough creating chances and finding the net. So obviously that's been a priority for us. Most games, apart from the one you mentioned, in 2 games this season, we really weren't good enough in most areas. But I think the rest we've been in there with the shout of a result, and like I say, we've really put some Fs into that, and hopefully we'll see it tonight.
In terms of offensively, certainly what we've seen here in Nanaimo, so much revolves around Suka Bahari and just trying to get him the ball and allow him to either finish or create further from there. I wanted to ask about the link up between kind of your attacking midfield and your back end. You're very, very strong on the back end. Those wing backs are very active as well. But sometimes maybe a little bit of a disconnect between getting guys like Bahari and Tinmouth, and especially today we'll see Bagiopoulos get the start this afternoon as well, getting them the ball and allowing them to create as much as possible.
Yeah, and what's funny is they all connect so well off the field, so we need to see it on the field for sure. Great lads, got a lot of character, and them kind of technical flair players that you want on the field, and you want them, the crowd want to see them on the ball. So they're all in there tonight in them areas to show us what they can do, and we've been trying to link them up in training constantly.
You get a couple of bodies back, at least for Nanaimo fans to see after leaving with injury their last time out here in Nanaimo, in both Juan and Daniel. We didn't get a chance to see either of them too long in their last action here in Nanaimo, but two really exciting players to have back in your lineup this afternoon.
Definitely, yeah. They have similar traits, but Juan can operate a little bit deeper as well. And Daniel, has played at some really good levels, and he, again, a big character in the team. Hopefully they'll both get chances today.
In terms of Rivers, expectations out of them, obviously the women's program having a little bit of some ups and downs in their season. The men's program has had some ups and downs as well, as has Harbourside. It's kind of an interesting season to kind of read from the outside looking in, but expectations on them this afternoon, and where you need to kind of focus for them.
Yeah, I know the coaches both on the men's and women's sides. I know Mark has done great stuff with the university there, and John with the nationals. I respect what they do, and they're going to be organised today for sure. Nothing's going to be easy for us. They've got pace, they've got speed, they've got organisation, they've got threat. So we've got to be on our game today if we're going to get anything out of this, which I'm fully confident we will, but it will not be easy. They're a good team.
And I wanted to ask you about your two netminders. Just, it's fun to watch them both play because they're both almost like an extra defender back there as well. They're both very active. Cal Weir has that futsal background as well. Marco Illich, not the biggest goalkeeper in the world, but boy, he's agile. I just wanted to kind of speak on that aspect and almost using them in an attacking role to get things going from the opposite end of the pitch.
Yeah, I was just talking to a fellow coach, and although they probably about my height, which is not massive, they don't seem like that. I never fear of being vulnerable in crosses and long balls because they're very agile and they command the area so well, and very lucky to have them both, to be honest. And they're great lads, and they've helped me with the team, formulate the team a little, and they've been a big part of this.
That is Kevin Lindo joining us here in our pre-game show as we continue to get set for kickoff here at Kinnistuk in Nanaimo. Teams just making their way over, getting ready for the walkout. We'll take a look at the weather forecast. We'll call it an even 19 degrees in terms of conditions. Ideal under mostly cloudy skies, and just a really beautiful evening here in Nanaimo for soccer. Players won't get too fatigued by the conditions. It'll be just a really free-flowing game. We were expecting some showers, which is in the forecast sort of late evening and overnight, but really picture-perfect skies as we stand at the moment. Let's go to the lineup for Harbourside, and as we mentioned with Kevin Lindo there, it'll be Billy Bagiopoulos to be the lone striker up front. He'll be supported by Suka Bahari and Ambrose Tinmouth on that attacking midfield role. Declan Bound and Reese Farragut to patrol in the midfield, and then the five on the back end, Mackenzie McCog, Mowbray Marassa, and Hull Calweir will get the start in net for Harbourside here this afternoon. For their opponents, Rivers FC Marshall Herald will get just his second start here this season. His counterpart, Oliver Jumeau, has really shared or had the lion's share of game action. Leading into action today, Herald just 74 minutes in net compared to Jumeau's 466. So he will go tonight. Paredes, Kang, Dos Santos, Comita ×2, both Domenico and Alejandro. Amen Sumadin will be in there as well. Jost Hausendorf, Marquez Scott, Magvir Sidhu, and Finn Marshall will be the 11 to start. Jumeau will be on the bench along with Hanks, Mary Ken, Khalil Dos Santos, Ethan Furlong, and Dejan Vujovic. as Rivers FC getting set for action here in Nanaimo. These two teams looking for a win in that bottom half of the men's division table, looking for some points to try and join that top half of play in League One. You heard Kevin Lindo speak. It's really just about finding some offense, not necessarily a ton of it, just some of it at this point. Harbourside, one of the lower scoring teams in League One on the men's division so far this year, and just looking to try and ignite that offense however best they can. So the lineup, the walkouts happening at the moment, and we are getting set for our opening kickoff here from Kikinishtuk in Nanaimo. Matt Marassa again leading out Harbourside as the captain.
Number 13, Declan Brown.
It'll be interesting to see how Harbourside start this one. The women were just fantastic from start to finish. Dominated from the outset, scored 11 and 20 minutes in to lead 2-0, never looked back. Added one in stoppage time in the first half, and then teams trading goals in the second for a 4-1 Harbourside victory.
Start crucial. Once again, soccer fans,
getting a chance to put down your foot on this game, dictate how it's played.
Like to welcome our youth team joining us for the walkout today.
Make the opponent chase. That will be the key.
U13 Spring Select Tier 2.
Love the youth soccer as well on the walkouts with these two teams.
Once again, a big thank you.
A lot of them also manning in behind the nets as well, doing the ball retrieval.
Harbourside FC acknowledges that we are competing, practicing, and learning on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, the lands of the Nanaimo First Nation, Tuaman First Nation, and the Cowichan and Snohomish.
Just going through all the pregame routines at the moment. Again, if you're just joining us, Harbourside lineup for this evening. Basiopolis will start up front. Bahari, Tinmouth, Brown and Farragut in the middle. Mackenzie, Magog on the wingbacks, and then Mowbray, Marassa, and Hull, the three on the back end. We'll pause for the national anthem. We are set to go here at Kikinishtuk in Nanaimo. Pleasure to have you on board here this evening. My name is Alex Ronsley. High above Kikinishtuk Stadium, Central Vancouver Island. Tonight's League One BC action, pitting Harbourside against Rivers. Harbourside looking for their second win in their inaugural season. Rivers looking for win number 3. An outright result for either team, particularly Rivers, who have 1 point more than Harbourside, would put them back in touch with that tightly contested top 5 group in the men's division. Captains at midfield, Matt Marassa, John Paretis for Rivers. Referee just giving instructions. We are ready to go. No decisive signal on who will kick off. Matt Marassa seems energized. Good crowd continuing to file in. There was a good attendance for the women's game. It kicked off at 6. It's a comfortably north of 600 here this evening. predominantly on this near side because the far side stand, which shows up in the camera, is just facing the sun, which has probably got another 20-25 minutes before it tucks in behind Benson for the night. Team's not really in a rush to switch sides. Wait and see what happens, and Rivers will work from our right to left in this first half. Harbourside in their home blues, the navy and the lighter blue, the two tones with the white trim from our left to right. Again, lineups for both teams here this evening. Harbourside going the 5 on the back end, 2 in the middle, and 3 up front. It'll be Bagiopoulos with Beharry and Tinmouth, Brown and Berriger in the middle, Johnny McKenzie and Callum Magog on the wingbacks, and then Mowbray Bejen, Matt Marasa, and Fergus Hall in the middle. For Rivers, they're 11, Marshall Harold in net, Paredes, Kang, Elijah Dos Santos, Domenico Kamita, Eamon Sumadine, Alejandro Cometa, Jost Hassendorf, Marcus Scott, Mugvir Sidhu, and Finn Marshall will be for them. We are set here at Kakinishtuk. It'll be Rivers to kick off. Referee for today, Joey Ratcliffe. Assistant referees, Ben Anthony and Colin Knight. Ross Cameron manning the substitutes on the sideline. Rivers the kickoff, and we are underway in this first half. Rivers from our right to left in their road whites with the light blue and orange trim. Harbourside from left to right in their home blues. There's a long feed down that far side, looking to gather Marasa back for it, though, and able to play to the outside, clear it up the wing. Looking to try and get that is McKenzie. And it's out of play for a throw. We saw the women just dominate early in terms of pressure. Harbourside, the men looking to try and replicate. Beharry trying to force a ball loose, does. Played into the middle, little overlap, and here comes Harbourside. Through the middle, it's Declan Brown with some speed, has options, cuts to the left, tries to feed Beharry, who was streaking down that left side. Just couldn't get the pass through, and muscling their way out. Rivers get to midfield. Tracking back, Kang. Gave it up. Here is Harbourside down that left side. Tinmouth trying to use the big frame to get the ball in, but able to clear back out to midfield. A good battle going on, is able to turn it back. Was Scott, I believe, playing to this near side. Dos Santos. Over to Paredes. And Rivers just slowing the pace once more. Paredes outside his own area. Played up through the middle. Scott hovering for it. Played over the far side. That's Sumadine. Samadine, excuse me. Delivered into the area, just over the crossbar. Weir was there with a glove just in case. Not required. Samadine, an imposing presence. And will be a clear focus on attack for Rivers tonight. Marasa on the short goal kick will control. Goes back to Weir. Support over that far side is delivered. That's Mowbray Bejen. Back to Weir. Marasa right side. Uses the boot, delivers a low ball straight to a Rivers boot, though. Falls at midfield. Tinmouth trying to gather. Beharry had it for a split second. Farragher as well, but it's Rivers to come away with it. Controlling there, that's Dos Santos. Plenty of talk, lots of chatter early from both teams trying to organize. Paredes. Back to the goalkeeper, Harold. Just his second action this season. 74 minutes. All to his name so far this year. Jumeau, who's had the lion's share of play, over 460 minutes, sits on the bench. Could presumably see some game action tomorrow in Victoria. So Medina, chance, just rolls through the 6-yard box. It was just out of the reach, and a free kick will come on a inadvertent handball. Samadine rolling that through just out of the reach of a couple there. Marshall was around it. As Bejenel on that left side. Back to Declan Brown. Reverses. Matt Marasa. Ahead. Again, lots of chatter. Tinmouth pressured. Not a lot of room to work as Tinmouth will go back for Hull. Over for Bejen again. Mowbray-Bejen delivers high. Bagiopoulos on the receiving end of one. He had two much larger players around him. Couldn't do much with it. It's cleared out of play by Rivers for a throw. McKenzie. Again, we talked a lot during the women's game about the wingbacks and how much they're able to activate. The men do it significantly more. Just it's an ever-present part of an attack to be able to drag those extra two up. Down the left side, here's Elijah Dos Santos. Trying to draw Marasa wide. Good shoulder by the Harbourside captain. And it will be a free kick, I believe, coming over as the referee is going right to the spot. So it won't be a corner, but, I mean, from a very similar angle, Rivers will have a free kick. Matt Marasa will plead his case. But it is a free kick just outside the 18-yard box. The referee will bring the wall back. We'll wait for the whistle. As Callum Weir just making sure the wall is in the right spot. Just outside the 18-yard box. Plenty of action and an early chance here for Rivers to take the lead. Delivered. Fired in, missiled through everybody. I don't think it got a touch. But it was a bullet delivered off the boots of Alessandro Comita. But it just didn't connect with anything. Scoreless here, 6 minutes. Plenty of chances though. Rivers, the bulk of them. Weir. Marasa has been busy early, has the captain. Over to the left side for Mowbray-Bejen. Marasa. Harbourside just trying to find that link up. From this defense through the midfield, it's McGoggle on the right side. He'll get the ball now. The Englishman ahead, tried to play it through Bagiopoulos along this near side. It came off Paredes and out of play. Marasa long throw, looking to link up with Bagiopoulos. It comes off a couple of boots and eventually cleared away to midfield. That is for Marasa. Again up the wing, and again a timely boot from Rivers. It was first by Kang. Around to help out as well was Marshall. Be a free kick coming here to Rivers. Good pace early. Again, Rivers probably the bulk of possession, bulk of the chances as well. Harbourside have definitely threatened though for Harry. Needs to get into the game for Harbourside's offense to be at its best. He's been excellent so far in this season. Long feed. Samadine played it back, a drive, just errant off bodies and oh, that hurts. It was cleared away from Hall right into the mouth of a teammate. And immediately hitting the deck. Just trying to get a read on the number. Might be Brown. But the clearance square off the boot from Fergus Hall. Right into the face of a teammate. And that is going to sting. You just want to make sure that there's nothing to worry in terms of, not only structural damage, but things like concussion you've got to talk about now. Kevin Lindo using the time to call a couple of players over to have a chat. Player is sitting up and just getting checked over by the Harbourside training staff. Already some activity on the Harbourside bench, just guys going for a bit of a jog. Just a lot of talking with the player down. I believe it is Declan Brown. So he's up. Looks like he's going to stay in. So just some friendly fire and an unfortunate time and place for Declan Brown. Wore that one. Unfortunate. So the drop ball will go to Rivers. And they will control, and it's back in. We are back underway. Elijah Dos Santos. Back as Rivers control in their own half. Paredes. Tried down the right side. Tinmouth closed that one down quickly. Now here's Kang. Lead feed with speed down that left side, trying to corral it. That's Domenico Comita. Out for a goal kick. Quickly put back into play. It's Bejen. Bouncing ball down that left side. Rivers again control. Bahari got a good toe on it. Ran into traffic and fouled. Free kick just short of halfway. Hall for Marassa. Long ball down the right side. McGogg trying to get a header onto it. Tinmouth around it too. Comes to McGogg. Good boot. Got it out to Bagiopoulos. Not a ton of room. Plays it back in traffic. Brown working. Back to Marassa. Good little probe of the Rivers defense. And Harbourside will concede some territory to maintain possession. Marassa's pass. Just a miscommunication with Brown. He'll get back onto it though. Good feed. Bahari in midfield. Support on the overlap through McKenzie is there. Bahari holds onto it and denies McKenzie. Drops back. Tinmouth. Now over to McKenzie left side. Drags it back to his right boot. To Tinmouth along the left touchline. Just bobbled that. Was able to keep it in. Samadine was trying to find a throw-in as he plays it back. Now on the counter-attack. Domenico Comita. He holds up. Plays it to the middle. Dos Santos. Over to the right side, but it was straight to a Harbourside player, Bahari. He's got McKenzie with him. Spins, goes back, and Harbourside will again regather. Bit of a chess match at the moment. Harbourside just sort of advancing a couple of bishops to see what opens up, then retracting if they didn't like what they saw. Hall. Bejen. McKenzie. Brown wore a hard clearance straight to the face a few moments ago. Has shown little, if any, ill effects of it, though, which is great not only for him, but for the team, obviously, as well. High clearance from Rivers put into Bejen. Samadine challenging him, but able to get away. McKenzie down the left touchline. Has tons of support. Through Bahari to the middle now. Tinmouth. Pass was a little awkward, but did the job. Tinmouth just outside the area, working his way in, finds Bahari. Touch pass to the middle, but it's a white jersey there first and cleared away. Good little opportunity generated from Harbourside down that left side. Here's Marassa. From McGogg. Callum McGogg. Little give and go. Miscommunication with Brown, and it'll roll out for a goal kick. Lots of chat, lots of it's a very vocal game. That's probably the biggest difference between the men's and the women's, just from a visual standpoint, is just how vocal the guys are in their communication. You hear it a little bit from the women's team, but not nearly as aggressive or noticeable with the men. McKenzie. Down the left side, trying to protect it is Bagiopoulos. Looking to dance his way through, comes off a Rivers player out of play. McKenzie will make way. Marassa comes right to left for the throw. He's going to be playing on the right side of that back three here so far this evening. It will come in for the long throw. Plenty of options in the box. He's got Bahari short over him. Trying to find a man in front. Went over Tinmouth. It comes all the way back to Marassa. He'll control. McKenzie around Tinmouth. Pass to Marassa. Did well to control it. Now Suka Bahari along that left wing. Off of Rivers' boot and out of play for a throw. Of course, the kids right below us help with the noise factor as well. And the dog, apparently. Marassa on the throw once more. From about 15, 12 yards north of the goal line. But a rolling chance to himself. It was intended for, I believe, Brown. Just had a little bit too much speed on it. Pardon me, Tinmouth. Wasn't able to drag it to himself. Fell nicely for Harold, who was quick to gather. Dos Santos presented, wanted a pass. Didn't get one. It's instead cleared all the way down, straight to the head of Hall. Played left side. Aubrey Bejen. Back to Hall, motions to Weir that it's yours, and the goalkeeper has it. Marassa. Now playing sort of a center role in that back three with Bejen on the left and Hall on the right. Rivers looking to control. Harbourside have been better the longer this game has gone on in terms of their possession. They've had sort of the most of it in the last 5 minutes or so. Good challenge there. Tinmouth stripped his man of it, as losing it was Comita, Alessandro Comita. Here's Buhari. Down the left side, Bagiopoulos. Outside the area, goes to the left corner, trying to open up something. Challenge, looking to get around, double teamed in that corner and draws a free kick. Great work from Vasilis Bagiopoulos along that left side. Kind of went into a zone where he didn't have too many options. Ended up battling two and draws a free kick. And it'll be Buhari to deliver. Just one on the wall for Rivers. Buhari will use the right boot to try and get Harbourside on the boards. Plays it all the way along the pitch, but right into the wall. And Rivers will look to take it away. With speed down that right side, just punted down. It'll draw Weir right to the edge of his zone. And we'll gather the ball. Harbourside regroup. Brown. For Hall. Now to Marassa back on this right side now. Has Magog to his right. Hall to his left. Uses the latter. Mowbray. Harbourside have weathered a bit of a storm. Rivers came out very strong, opening 7 or 8 minutes. And then the second set of 7 or 8 has been a lot of Harbourside possession. Nothing real grade A opportunity in terms of scoring for either team, although if you had to sum it up, Rivers has probably had the better of what chances we've had so far. Farragher over the far side, Bejen. Long, low drive in there, Buhari the intended target, or check that Bagiopoulos, the intended target, just well out of his reach. Beautiful conditions here in Nanaimo. Sun is setting probably not long behind Benson, and we'll get the lights, which have come on in the last few minutes. They'll begin to take more of an effect. Still the long shadows from the sun making their way across Kinnistuk Stadium. Pass there from Paredes, just wrong-footed Alessandro Comita goes out of play for a throw. Magog to Marasa. Both teams keen to play that possession. Neither in a rush, looking for the setup. As we said a little bit earlier, it's chess-like at the moment. Bijan. McKenzie back to Bijan. Fergus Hall. Through the middle, good pass, hit Declan Brown. Now Tinmouth tracking back ahead to Callum Magog. Pass up and ahead, Brown once more. Looking to work his way to the middle. Pass from Magog was just in behind him. Loose one comes off the elbow, I thought, of Tinmouth. Play continues. As now Magog right side will challenge up against Comita. And Rivers able to come away with it. Paredes. Near side here, Domenico Comita. Back to Paredes. Over the far side, Buhari challenging. It's played up. And then Samudin, excuse me. Challenged and take it away. Samudin. Into the middle. Kamika, long drive, and that was blocked. Might have been by Marasa. Ball comes back to midfield. Sent in once more. A lofted shot and a header towards the goal, but it's gloved easily. Not a lot of velocity on it, just kind of looped towards Weir, and he's able to grab and hold on. Matt Marasa for Fergus Hall. Aubrey Bejen. Buhari. McKenzie. Back to Buhari, left side. Working his way through traffic. Stripped of it momentarily. Did well to get it back. Got it to Tinmouth. Now to Hall. Still on that outside, Bejen. Back to Hall. Now to Marasa. There's Ferrier in the middle, pardon me. Now Marasa down the right side. Looking to feed Buhari, who's worked his way from left to right. Did well to get around his man, Elijah Dos Santos, and takes the ball away. Buhari on the near touchline. Opens up the right boot. The cross delivers. Intended for Vigiopoulos right on the dot. Never found its way there. It was cleared, headed away. But a good effort from Suko Buhari, just sort of licensed to roam. Patrolling that left wing here this evening, found himself on the near touchline. Marasa, again another long throw. There's Nicole Foglietta to fill these duties considerably in the first half of the women's game. Earlier on tonight, the ladies a 4-1 victory over Rivers. And here come the Kamloops Rivers out of Thompson on the counter-attack. But not able to get too far. Buhari at midfield. Push down, free kick. Good crowd here at Kakinistugga. Stunning Friday evening. Just some light clouds. We thought we might get some showers, but not to be. Not too many people complaining. Although the old adage is, yes, we could use it. Fergus Hall to Matt Marasa. Up through the middle, Magog. Wearing number 23, not the 28 that we had him attributed to in the starting lineup. Regardless, Magog on that right wing back role. Buhari. Mowbray Bejen. Up for Tinmouth, left side, and just put out of play by Rivers. And again, this possession, this territory control by Harbourside continues. Sans a couple of minor pushes or counterattacks from Rivers. A good chunk of the last 15 minutes has been some quality possession from Harbourside. Hasn't yielded anything on the scoreboard. We are still scoreless. That being said, Harbourside have had many of the chances. Declan Brown just in a little hard on a challenge. Gives up a free kick. Or Ambrose Timoth, excuse me. Dos Santos. Up the right side. Harbourside thought that was out along that far touchline, but played in. Eamon Samudin. Such an imposing presence out there. Has been controlled well early, started well. Harbourside seemed to just be all over him right now. Mowbray Bijan has the assignment at the moment, although Fergus Hall will see a lot as well. Here's Bagiopoulos, now Tinmouth, and he is offside. It took half a second for the flag to raise. Thought it might have snuck through, but Tinmouth was well ahead of the defense. Shows good intent. Shows opportunity. Just the timing not quite there. Farragher looking to try and get a loose ball at center. Samudin gets it. Away from Bahari. Ayman Samudin ahead to Dos Santos. Over to that far side. That's for Comita. That's Alessandro Comita. Back for Rivers to control. He's the captain, Paredes. Near side, Kang. Into the middle once more, Dos Santos. That's Elijah Dos Santos. Khalil Dos Santos starting today on the bench. Long drive. Samudin trying to send it in, but cleared away by Harbourside. Intended target there might have been Bugveer Sidhu. Or even potentially Finn Marshall in and around it as well. Samudin, challenged by Bijan. Loose ball still inside the area as it comes off a leg up for a goal kick. Samudin a little frustrated with that decision. Quickly taken and short taken, taken short I should say, to Matt Marasa by Cal Weir. For Hall. Bijan. Again, this chess match continues. It's not even really a trading of pieces at this stage. It's all set up. We'll move a couple of pieces into attack and don't like the response, so you bring them back. Setting up pawns, getting your bishops free. And I think Samudin's going to get booked here. And he will. Ayman Samudin, he expressed some dissent on the call on the goal kick and then has obviously continued to chat. Because I didn't see any physical contact with Harbourside players, but the referee came from a good quarter pitch away and has issued the yellow card, so I can only assume that's for dissent. And Samudin ends up in the referee's book, 27th minute of this first half. Samudin chatting with the linesman on that far side who would have made the goal kick call. So that's what I'm guessing is the frustration. Maybe chatting to the linesman, disputing that call, even though it's long gone. Those are the kind of frustrations you don't want to boil over. You don't want to carry those with you because it really doesn't do anything positive or constructive. As Magog, the half bicycle kick to keep that play in, did well. His Bahari, but the ball just ahead of him, and it's drilled out of play. Marasa right side. Harbourside still looking for a goal as the wind begins to pick up a little bit here. Marasa. Over to Bahari. Crucial boot as that was cleared away. And back out to midfield. Bijan. McKenzie. Back to Weir. Has to be good with it as there was a challenge from Finn Marshall. And Samudin comes up with it. McKenzie. Samudin challenging McKenzie, and he'll put it just out of play, but Samudin gives up the free kick on the challenge. Mackenzie a little bit fortunate there as he just kind of bobbled the ball a little bit on the challenge from Samudin. Along this near side with some speed, it's Marshall trying to play it to the middle. Doesn't get its way through. Back out along the near wall. It's Kamita. Whistle goes, free kick. It'll go towards Rivers. And an opportunity just outside the 18-yard box. For Rivers to try and find our game's first goal. Alessandro Kamita is on the free kick. Call this about 25, 28 yards out from goal. Delivered into the box and offside the call. Chance never found its way into the net, went wide, but linesman quickly on it. They will call it the offside, not the goal kick. Beijing gets it. Into the middle. Farriger. To Marassa. Hall. Return feet. Marassa. Misdirected. Turnover. Is Kamita. Back to Kang, pardon me. Over to the far side, Dos Santos. Is in through the middle now, Marquez Scott. Veritas. Now it's Rivers' turn for a little bit of sustained pressure and possession. Kamita, lofted ball. Over the far side, McKenzie pressuring. Alessandro Kamita gets it back. And it's now controlled by Scott. And Rivers forced back into their own half. In fact, all the way back to Marshall Herald in net. Veritas. Back to Herald. He'll try the right side this time. Ball delivered with some time. Working their way up down the right side. Cutting into the middle. Samudin. Little return feed. Toe poke ahead. Onto it is Kang. Delivers outside. That's for Kamita. High cross towards the goal, and Weir snatching at it right at the goal line. Was a good shot on net from distance by Domenico Kamita. Labeled for the top right corner. Wasn't a ton of velocity on it. Was more cross than shot, but on target and snatched out by Weir. And we remain scoreless. Bahari. Return feed along that far side. Kept in well at the touchline, and a player is down. That is Amin Sumadin. Didn't see the contact on him, but is down flat on his back. Opportunity for the players to get a little bit of refreshment. It's not a hot night, but the pace of the game has been good. Samudin has been a focal point of this game so far in the book. We assuming for dissent, but has been a focal point of the attack for Rivers as well. Big presence, uses the body well. Maybe just cramping. Getting a stretch on his right leg at the moment. Time ticking away into our 34th minute. Our on-screen clock is just a fraction behind the clock here at Kikinishtuk, but won't matter too much. Those watching from the interior curious on the name Kikinishtuk. It is a name from the First Nation of this region, the Nanaimo First Nation. Kikinishtuk meaning in the Hokkien language to pass it back or to give back. It's what you would hear athletes, particularly young soccer players from Nanaimo, saying, hey, pass the ball back, give it back kind of thing. So that's the origin of the name. And this facility renamed officially 12 months ago. Towards the end of last year, sort of fall last year, almost 12 months ago, and along with a local school here in town as well. So that is the reasoning behind it, part of a multi-sport complex here in Nanaimo. We've got Rotary Bowl, which is the track and field arena, which is actually where we are at, looking out the back of over Kakinishtuk. We've got neighboring Sir Oxman Stadium, which is the baseball arena in Nanaimo. The building in behind is the Nanaimo Aquatic Center, the pool across the street, the ice center, which is one of the 3 main ice rinks in the community. So if it's sport, it's here. And here's a chance. It's Buhari on the back heel trying to tee up Agiopoulos, but just didn't quite have enough. Buhari might have been better off to go on his own. He had 2 on him, though. And the little back heel intended for Bagiopoulos he was just half a step behind it. But a good chance off a longer stoppage for Harbourside. Samudin is up and trotting around. Be interesting to see how or if at all he's hurt by that. I'm assuming it's some sort of muscle pull or whatever. It was a stretch on his right side, so we'll monitor that as the game goes on. Dos Santos. Check that, Scott. Now up the right side, here's Samudin using that right leg and able to play it over to a teammate. He's kind of doing some side steps. Looks a little bit ginger on that right side, but we'll see how that affects him as it goes on. Buhari to McKenzie. Little stutter step along that far wall from Johnny McKenzie. Marassa. Long ball down through the middle. Bagiopoulos heading it back as Tinmouth trying to control on it but couldn't get a handle on the ball. Paredes goes back to his keeper, Heralds. Still over that far side to Santos. Working through the middle. Here's Scott. Long ball down the right side. Intended for Samudin. Just kind of gave the apologetic wave back to his teammate. Just got their wires crossed on that delivery. Sun is firmly behind Mount Benson. So all shadows on the field and the lights taking effect. You're beginning to see the 4 shadows from each player. So we'll play the rest of this game under lights. 36 minutes and change gone in our first half and still awaiting the game's first goal. No lack of chances. Nothing grade A. Probably Rivers' long shots to the top right corner, more of a cross than a shot from anything Weir was easily able to gather. Nothing that has really forced the best out of either netminder. As we said before, it's chess match. That's what it is at the moment. Brown through the middle, challenge, gave it up. As that's played in and ahead by Marquez Scott. He'll get it straight back at midfield. Delivers over the far side now. Rivers trying to find something in the middle. They've got plenty of targets. Delivered high. The header, a chance. It's put on goal. And a snatch up high from Weir on the chance from Kamika. It was a good one. Or check that, Elijah Dos Santos, excuse me. Nope, pardon me, it is Kamika, the number 6. Domenico Kamika just getting a quick chance in tight, but gloved quickly, confidently by Cal Weir. Ball put out a play down the left touchline. Rivers, the quick throw. Scott, turned it over. Here's Bagiopoulos, has Tinmouth, uses him now. The back heel, Declan Brown, looking for clean control. Magog, muscled, as here comes Paredes, looking down the left side, gets it with speed. Here's Marshall, but a good tackle All ball from Marasa and denied the break. Long shot from a distance. Rebound, they score! Eamon Samudin buries on a rebound after a long shot from Alessandro Kamita. Just bobbled by Cal Weir in front. Samudin, the Crumbs, and the visitors take the first lead tonight. It's 1-0. And a tough one for Harbourside to give up. They've carried a good portion of the play in this first half, but Samudin, we've been talking about him as a ever-present target for Rivers up front tonight, and able to benefit from a rebound given up in front, and a tough one for Harbourside to stomach late in a first half. And a team which has struggled to get regular scoring going.
Goal scored by number 9, Eamon Samudin.
Now required to chase. So Samudin, the scorer, coming in the 39th minute. Kamita will get in on the scoring play, and it is a 1-0 Rivers lead. Harbourside looking to complete the home sweep as Marasa challenged there by Kamita, as Harbourside will get the ball back. Domenico Kamita colliding with Matt Marasa. Kamita tumbling. Referee didn't take it, and now here's Magog right side. Heads it back towards the middle. Tinmouth. Back to Magog. Looking to cross. Does. Delivers. Right to Bagiopoulos. Off the chest to the goal line. It's saved. Parried away and regathered. What a great chance from Billy Bagiopoulos. Thought he had it on a first try. Lost it momentarily, then delivered a great shot to net very deep on the goal line. Harold able to parry it away and gather up the rebound as well. And here come Rivers straight back. Weir, aggressive has to be. Comes back out. Samudin drives to net off the gloves of Weir and able to send it away. Harbourside need to clear. They don't get it. Kamita back top of the zone. Dancing around. Trying to work his way through. Looking for a penalty. None came. And it'll be cleared by Tinmouth. To Bahari. Pace has gone up a level. Suka Bahari down the left side. Has some support with him. Plays it up through the middle, intended for Bagiopoulos, and cleared out by Rivers. Scrambling from Harbourside in their own zone, but got away with it. Now looking to try and generate more offense. Tinmouth. Intended there. Goes to McCog. Now Tinmouth. Back to Marasa. To the middle. Farragher. Brown. Trying to get it to Bahari. Didn't have enough on it, and Rivers will break back. Support down the left side is through Marshall. Kamita, holds onto it. Samudin working his way into the penalty area. Back for it. And a good body work there from McKenzie. Doesn't give it away. Plays it up. Brown. Bahari to the middle. Brown. And Harbourside will break out. Into Mines. Working his way through. That's Mowbray Bejen, pardon me. Down to Bahari left side with speed. He's got Tinmouth working with him along the wing. Bahari cuts to the middle. Bahari plays it in, and it was well ahead of Bejen. It'll come back. Marasa controls. Makes a nice move. Here's Matt Marasa from a long way out. Plays to the middle. Rivers there, though, in numbers. Brown makes a crucial pinch. Tinmouth. Bahari left side and just misplayed it. And out of play it goes. Check that, McKenzie. And a great passage of play, back and forth, chances both ends. All for naught on the scoreboard. "43rd minute in this first half. Rivers, through Eamon Samudin, lead 1-0. Out for a throw. McKenzie will take it quickly. Bejen. Marasa. Back to Weir. Again, this chess game resumes. Marasa pressured. Back for Hall. Bejen. Buhari. Through traffic down that left wing, off a couple of legs. Ultimately, Buhari's was the last one, and out for a throw for Rivers. Final minutes prior to stoppage time in this first half. Imagine we'll see a couple. Fourth official got the signal. Throw in inside the Rivers half. Buhari in traffic, trying to get it out to Tinmouth, but it's taken away. Paredes. High ball, straight to the head of the opposing captain, Marasa. Falls nicely for Rivers, though, although plenty of blue jerseys. Tinmouth ran into traffic. That was through Marquez Scott. And Rivers Harbourside, I should say, regain control through Hall. 4 minutes of added time. Marasa. We are into stoppage time now. Our clock on screen just a little bit behind the one here. So at 4 minutes.
4 minutes will be added on.
To be added on into this first half. Fergus Hall. Do we have something late here from Harbourside, who have been chasing offense all season, and it hasn't reliably come yet, although it has come from a variety of different sources. Bagiopoulos scoring his last time out in Nanaimo. Harry has a couple. Just trying to find the guy. Rivers have a few who have scored a pair. Finn Marshall on the ball just there is one of them. They've been able to spread out their offense. Here's Declan Brown looking for something late. Passes over, intended for Buhari, but it was cut off by Kamita, and Rivers will control. Paredes ahead. Salmudin trying to fight off the check of Maubrey Bejen. Opens up the left boot, but blocked well by Hall. Comes back out into midfield. Scott over to the far wing. Rivers still controlling. Marquez Scott plays it down the right wing. Running onto it, Alessandro Kamita. Laid down the far touchline. Buhari, 2 on him. Put out of play. It'll be a throw in for Harbourside. Still a couple of minutes left in stoppage time. We'll get to about 48 and a half, 49 minutes on our on-screen clock, barring any other significant stoppages. Harbourside looking for one late. McKenzie will take the throw-in. Buhari. Backle on that far side, working in tight. Brown, nice little back heel. Here's a chance for Harbourside trying to work their way in. Bagiopoulos, the little give and go, a second chance. Here's Marasa to Buhari from distance. Couldn't thread the needle through. And the crumbs spill out to Samudin along the far side. Shouldered off the much smaller Buhari. Samudin plays it down the wing. Rivers, a late attack here. Far side, Bejen getting in the way of it. Ball to the penalty dot. Great save by Weir. Came off the leg and out of play. He was partially screened, but good positioning and able to kick it away. Good counterattack from Rivers. There was some great possessions, great chances. Back down the other way for Harbourside. Just lacked that final touch. Rivers will be in no rush here. Keen to make this passage the final one before halftime. Far side corner for Rivers. Referee just blowing a hold up. having a chat with Cal Weir in the Harbourside net. And again, the referee just a bit of an extended stoppage here. Joey Ratcliffe laying down the law with a handful of players standing on top of the penalty dot. Long delivery there, punched away by Weir, high to the edge of the area, headed back in. Harbourside need to clear. It's a shot, and it's drilled off a Harbourside leg, and it'll go out for another corner. Well and truly past the 4 minutes that was to be added on. The referee adding on another passage of play here. So this, barring a back-to-back corner, if Harbourside able to clear, this should be the first half. Delivered in. Far post. Headed! They score! It's off a corner, it's scrambling in front, and it is a goal in the dying seconds of the first half, and the whistle will go. And on the final passage of play, Rivers double the lead, it's 2-0. And that is a tough one for Harbourside to swallow. Might be Summerdean again. We'll wait for the call from Matt Cotter at pitch level, but it was a scrambly one at front. And it is a 2-0 Rivers lead after 45 minutes. We'll step away here for halftime. We'll leave you with the sounds of Kikinishtuk through our break. We'll come back with second half action here in a moment. Rivers 2, Harbourside 0 after 45. My name's Alex Ronsley. This is League One BC Football on YouTube.
Locally made beer, also some gin and vodka mixed drinks as well. All behind us on the far end here of the pitch. I'd like to take this moment to thank some of our sponsors, including Ramsey Lampman Roads, our lead sponsor, O'Neill's Junk in Our Trunk, Seagull Home and Auto Glass, Coastal Community Credit Union. Also a shout out to DBL Disposal Services, Martin Belson Real Estate, Ideal Siding, Island Electric Company, Herald Engineering, West Bay Mechanical, Cedar Valley Canal Center, and FYI Doctors. We thank them and you, the fans, for your support of Harbourside FC. All right, so we invite some teams back on the pitch here. U12 Real Madrid and U13 Spring Select Tier 2. Thank you very much, Nanaimo United folks, for joining us. We'll get our little mini game going here shortly. Scoring play on Rivers FC's second goal. Goal scored by number 19, Nadir Sidhu. Harbourside FC would also like to offer our thanks to Wildwood Health, St. John's Ambulance, Footprint Security, Nanaimo Track and Field, the City of Nanaimo, Vancouver Island University, and the Nanaimo News Bulletin. We thank them and you, the fans, for your support of Harbourside FC, League One BC Soccer. All right, big thank you to our Man United youth teams here. U12 Real Madrid has U13 Spring Select Tier 2. Once again, a reminder, this year's Spring Classic champions. A big thank you to both teams for joining us here. And a big shout out to Nanaimo United, great academy programs for youth, adults, and masters leagues. Want to check more about the soccer in Nanaimo? Make sure to check out Nanaimo United. I also want to give a shout out to our friends with the VIU Mariners, running a U10 to U16 boys soccer camp this August 1st to 4th at Noah Logan Turf Field. Learn more about gameplay, tactical drills, goalkeeper training, info on college recruitment and athlete development, and much more. Training with the PacWest champion VIU Mariners U10 U16 boys on August 1st to 4th right here in Nanaimo. For more information, go to gomariners.ca and check out the camps page. Once again, gomariners.ca, check out the camps page for more information. The VIU Mariners U10 U16 boys soccer camp.
Welcome back to Kakinishtuk here in Nanaimo. Rivers, a 2-0 lead through 45 minutes worth of play. Ayman Samudin scoring in the 39th minute to open the game, and then the final kick of the first half, Bagvir Sidhu getting one in tight to double the lead, and it is a 2-0 advantage for the visitors, and a team which has struggled a little bit to find some offense through this season, now poised to score at least 2 for a result or 3 for full points here this evening. Harbourside will move from our right to left in this second half. In their home blues with the light blue and white trim. I was just dealing with an off-pitch issue here just on our stream, but just making sure that we don't have any extra substitutes, although there looks to be one over there. So we'll make one substitute. We'll Harbourside at the half. Just waiting to see exactly who the numbers are. Good thing about the night game is it's a little easier to see the fourth official's board. And Juan Rubiano will come on for Harbourside. I believe at the expense of Callum Magog. So Rubiano will slot in. His last action here in Nanaimo was a couple of games ago. Unfortunately, was injured very, very early on and hasn't played a ton since. So Rubiano coming into this game here. It was a horror start injury for that game for Harbourside. It was both Rubiano and Daniel Tumetsuru who, unfortunately, had to leave very, very early. Underway here in this second half. Harbourside from right to left and looking for some offense. Aubrey Bejen for Hall. Marasa still working along that back flat three with the wingbacks in support. Bagiopoulos getting that ball to run off a Rivers player and out of play. McKenzie He's near side Bagiopoulos. He's got Buhari with him on the left. Eyes him off, cuts into the middle. Bagiopoulos through traffic, ran into white jerseys everywhere. Samudin just unable to corral that one in. We were talking a little bit earlier. 3 players for Rivers who have 2 goals each, taking up a good chunk of their offense. Marshall is one, Samudin is another, and Alessandro Comita was the third. The goal this evening for Samudin, now his third on the season, and leads that team in goal scoring. Tenmouth. Now near side. That's for Bejen. We'll give back from McKenzie. And again to McKenzie. Left side. Played up through the middle. Tenmouth. Check that. Ferrier. Now back for Hull. Marasa. Right side. Played up through there as Tenmouth. Marasa gets it back. He's essentially slotted back into that right wing back role that Magog was in. And Rubiano playing one of the 3 central defender roles. We'll kind of wait to see how that shapes out as this second half goes on. Bejen. Got Hole in the middle. Marasa out to the right. And again, Rubiano just kind of floating. Here's Buhari. Plays that over the top, but doesn't get far. Knocked down and a challenge free kick coming here as Alessandro Comita just getting some contact through traffic, and it'll be a yellow card to Ferrier. Third caution issued this evening by referee Joey Ratcliffe. Free kick will come just a few yards inside center. Looking to deliver this to the edge of the 18-yard box. Long drive. Hits Samudin, but it's headed wide and over the goal. It was offside anyway. But a great effort on a long free kick chance. Just headed over the goal. Ultimately for Nord on the offside call. Bagiopoulos right side. Looking for some support. Finds it in the middle through Ferriger. Lost it. A good back heel to advance the ball, but taken up by Marasa on the play from Samudin. Tenmouth. Marasa right side. Good dance around. Delivers a lofted ball to the middle. Bagiopoulos. But it'll be a free kick. Just outside the area for Harbourside, and a golden opportunity here for the home team to get on the scoreboard. So the free kick's going to come all the way back. Whistle initially went on Bagiopoulos just a couple of yards outside the box, but the referee's called it back to the right touchline. Still an opportunity. There's Rubiano and Buhari both around it. Both will have a look. Buhari will run over. Rubiano to deliver. It's not a fantastic delivery as that's cleared away. Taken there by Marquez Scott. In transition, here comes Rivers. Support down the right side is available. That's through Hausendorf. He gets it now. Just Hausendorf on the left boot. Into the area. Bouncing ball. It's off the boots of Samudin and out of play as Marasa was all over him. Haven't seen too many long goal kick clearances from the men's team here this evening. In almost all circumstances, there's none that really come to mind, but in almost all circumstances, Weir defers on the short pass to Marasa. Fergus Hall to Bejen. Rubiano. Trading up with McKenzie briefly. Rubiano will make his way up into the midfield. Marasa right side. Working his way into the middle. Good pass. It's Timoth. Working through. Check that Bagiopoulos. Drops it back. Harbourside just beginning to build a little bit of pressure. Lateral. Rubiano. Left side. Touch pass. Back. It's Mowbray-Bejean. Down to McKenzie. Rubiano in traffic. Has Bahari with him. Rubiano trying to work it there. Right along the touchline. And the flag goes up from the linesman at center. Not a whole ton in it, but linesman was watching. A couple of protests from Harbourside, but quickly knocked back. Medium throw there from Rivers along the near side. Samadine. In traffic. Kick down the near side touchline as Hall sends it straight back in. Samadine deep in his own zone. Plays it up through the middle. Good ball. Kamita trying to unleash, but Marasa's back. It was a one-on-one. The captain had to be good, and he was. Here's McKenzie. Plays it up. A little pass ahead. Bahari, the intended target. Pass misdirected. It's Kamita once more. Back checking is Tinmouth trying to shoulder him off. Kamita stays with it, but fires it well wide. Missed by about 3 yards. We're not challenged. And again, the short clear to Marasa. Harbourside working in their own end. Long ball into the middle. Bagiopoulos. Hasn't really been able to work as freely as perhaps he would like this evening. Near side, here's Hausendorf. Cutting in. Long drive. Bounced off Weir. The rebound drilled wide. It was an aggressive chance from Finn Marshall. Opportunistic. Weir parrying that down, and on the rebound, very nearly put in by Marshall. Here's McKenzie down the left side as Harbourside look to counterattack. Bagiopoulos through traffic. Works his way along. Finds Bahari. Bahari has some space to open up and go for a run. To the middle. Dishes off far side. Rubiano. Long delivery intended back for Bahari. Parried by Marshall as those two play a bit of a game of chicken. And Marshall Herald will control. Rivers once more. Up through the middle. Marasa has to be good. Marshall's in one-on-one with Marasa. Marasa might have gotten the last touch on that. Well, will be issued a goal kick. Thought that came off Marasa last, but linesman and referee, much better position than we are here. And again, the short clear from Weir straight to Marasa. Fergus Hall trying to check that Farragher. Trying to control in traffic. Couldn't really get too far. Marasa. Along the far wing. Harbourside trying to get some sort of control. Rubiano was around it. But here come Rivers straight back the other way. Cutting in. Top of the zone. Long drive. It was a chance. The lead from Kamita. Just outside the zone. Whistle goes. It'll be a free kick. It'll go to Harbourside. Harbourside player down right on the edge of the 18-yard box. That's Farragher, I believe. Not a whole ton of action on the bench for the home team. No substitutes yet for the visitors. They've got a few to work with. They've got 6 of the 7, including Jamo, the goalkeeper. And Farragher, with a pretty heavy limp on his left side, will look to try and walk this one out. But Farragher certainly a little bit impeded at the moment. Bahari, Tinmouth has Hall. Tough leg and all, was able to make that play. Goes over to Mowbray-Bejean. McKenzie. Back to Hall. Will control. Goes over to the far side. Checks that Farragher now for Hall. Goes up to Rubiano. Plays it to the touchline. Well kept in. Right on the edge there. Bagiopoulos around it. As Harbourside looked to muscle as Marasa comes through. Wrecking ball style. Able to gather. And Harbourside gain control. Bejean. McKenzie. One touch pass ahead. Here's Bagiopoulos trying to gather. Just couldn't get clean possession. As now Samudin comes right side. Working his way towards the corner. Bejean marking him just outside the edge of the area. Samudin working his way in. Tight angled shot. Optimistic at best. Played high and over the goal. And again, the short goal kick to Marasa. Through the middle, Harbourside trying to play it through. Bahari wanted it. It came off Rivers' leg and fell nicely to Hassendorf. Bahari will get it now in his own half. Up through, that's Tinmouth. He's got Bahari back with him, uses him, but the pass cut off and cleared all the way down. One hop to Weir. Quick throw near side, Bejean. Feed through the middle, the intended recipient is along this near side as Bagiopoulos couldn't get it. There's Hassendorf, just outside the area, drops it off. Chance, long way out, great save by Weir. Rebound cleared away by Bejean. As Kang was the one, Minwoo Kang was the one to drive home a shot, but parried away and cleared by Harbourside and Weir. Ball along that left touchline. Samudin. Clears it back all the way to this near side for Sidhu. Hausendorf. Plays through the middle. Kamita. Hausendorf following up. Bouncing ball. Bahari will take it away. Check that. Rubiano will take it away. Looks off at Bahari. Rubiano holds on to it. Ahead. Bagiopoulos. Delivers over to the far side. Substitutes readying to come on. Harbourside preparing to make two. Marasa. A long feed down the right side. Chasing after it is Bagiopoulos. It's cleared and the linesman takes a tumble. But cleared out of play for a throw-in. And this will be a substitution here for Harbourside. A double substitution at that. Just waiting to see what goes up on the board. I believe that's Marasa off. It is Marasa off. Just the board has not gone up yet. Trying to get a read on the numbers coming on at distance. And the fourth official appears ready at least for now, although maybe Harbourside will have to wait for one. Just a little bit of confusion in making this substitution. Marasa is off. Just trying to get a read on who has come on for him. The second one has come on too, but the board didn't go up, so we'll just try to get that all through context. Fergus Hall has assumed captaincy duties. There's a chance from just the edge of the area. And Harbourside control near side touchline. Here's Suko Bahari. Plays it in the middle. Farragher. Over to that far side. It'll back to Farragher. And out of the wing. Tinmouth around it, trying to regather or check that over that far side. Might be Bilodeau who would have come on. Let's just do an inventory on who's where at the moment. We know that Hall has the captain's armband. Marasa is off. Just trying to get a read on who the second substitute was. As Rubiano, he was an earlier sub in this second half. In fact, at 45 minutes. All the subs on that far side. I believe it is Bilodeau on that far side. It could also be Dagelman. Here it is.
Into the game, number 18, Owen Diegelman. And number 21, Matthew Coburn.
All right, so it is Coburn on for Marasa. And then Dagelman wearing number 18. He comes on for Tinmouth along that far side. If I've done my inventory correctly, as a throw in now for Rivers inside their own half. The fourth officials board never went up. All the subs are on that far side, and it's tough to get a good read on numbers along that far side of the pitch here at Kinnistook. So here's Hausendorf, right side for Rivers, cutting in to the area, shoots high and wide. Hall will break out left side. Suka Bahari. Harbourside still looking for offense. It is a 2-0 Rivers advantage. We are in the 63rd minute. Harbourside just controlling possession. There hasn't been a whole ton of push in this second half. They haven't been able to break down the Rivers defense. As Bilodeau trying to keep that in was unable to, or check that, pardon me, Bajen trying to keep that in. Unable to do so. Hausendorf will take the throw. Played short, Marshall, the little give and go between he and Kang. Gets them a few more yards down the pitch. Hausendorf will reset right side. Long throw intended there for Samudin. Clear it away. Kang, high delivery to the left side. Two players battle, free kick. It'll go to Rivers. At 28 yards out. Chance here to really cement an advantage in this game. Delivery into the area, Samudin. The target came off a bunch of bodies. Still a chance. Here's his Finn Marshall drive and just near side wide. Marshall was able to drag that one down. Shot it wide off a Harbourside leg. It'll go out for a corner. And a good chance from a static area for Rivers. Harbourside again just struggling to generate that offense that they so sorely need. Headed away, free kick, it'll go to Harbourside. A 4-0 result against Unity 2 weeks ago. Currently staring down a 2-0 or 2-0 result at the moment at home. Just haven't been able to get that reliable, I don't want to say automatic. It's never automatic when you talk soccer, but certainly that reliable, persistent offense. Just hasn't been able to get there. So Tinmouth is still on, so trying to get a read on who that second sub coming off was. Thinking it might be oh no, there's Brown. Tinmouth on. Yeah, we'll just try to get a read as that comes through, but frustrating without the fourth official's board to confirm the numbers. It's kind of a bit of a guessing game. Here's Harry from a long way out. Ball rolls a couple of feet wide of the near side post. Although Marshall Herald was there, hasn't really been challenged extensively this evening. Just thinking now that I look at the formation, it might be McKenzie that made way, because Bejen has sort of moved over with Coburn in the middle. Bejen has moved over to that left role, that left wing back role. Or even Harbourside maybe going to that flat 4. An offside against Rivers. So, yeah, I believe that's McKenzie. I haven't seen him in a fairly significant while. And not seeing him in any sort of familiar position at the moment. So McKenzie, the other substitute, not Tinmouth. Regardless, Harbourside making a couple of changes. 3 in total in this second half so far. And preparing to make their first 2 substitutes, Rivers, in an upcoming whistle. There's a chance. Bahari just muscled off and shouldered off the ball by Elijah Dos Santos. A couple of yards outside the 18-yard box. Bahari just rolling off a check, and Dos Santos just used the size and strength advantage to make sure that Bahari didn't advance any further. So free kick from a fair distance, but an opportunity for Harbourside to deliver a quality cross for somebody to get on the end of. Rubiano will be on the free kick. And the substitutes will have to wait. 69th minute here in Nanaimo. Harbourside looking for their first goal this evening. They trail 2-0. Rubiano will look to deliver. He does. It's off the body in front. It's punched away, just cleared out. And now here's a chance quickly on a break for Rivers. It's Comita, Alessandro Comita. Fast break through the middle. Hall is back. Comita into the penalty box, falls onto the ball, somehow maintains control. A drive to net, it's blocked, and Harbourside will gain control. It's Bahari along this near side to Rubiano, and now a break back the other way for the home team. It's Bahari. He's got Rubiano down the left side, pleading for it, didn't get it. Tinmouth, right side feed, in towards the middle. Degelman, the target, gets it in the box, doesn't have a shot, tries to center, ball, chance. Harbourside wanted a free kick, it instead will go for a corner, pleading for a penalty for a moment. They'll get the corner. Tinmouth to take it. Plenty of options. Colburn with his height finding himself down there as well. Rubiano and Hall, the 2 back. Delivered high to the far post. Colburn, the header, but wide. Probably has the most height on a Harbourside defense as Rivers making some changes. Seen the first one. It's going to be Finn Marshall to come off, Khalil Dos Santos to come on. So that's change number 1. And Marshall absolutely in no rush. And then Salmuddin will be the second off. And Dejan Vujovic will come on for him. So 2 changes for Rivers. 3 so far for Harbourside. Plenty of action still left to be had on the substitutes bench this evening.
Into the game, number 18, Bill Dos Santos. And number 21, Brian Vujovic.
Beijing. Aerial up to Bagiopoulos. Just hasn't been able to establish himself consistently this evening, despite best efforts. Rubiano left side, looking for an avenue. The pass just in behind Bahari. Just not having that communication. Trying to find a link up, and that's the key word for Harbourside. The link up. They're so steady. The back five, and just can't quite find that link up to the guys up front to be able to create that space for the Baharis and the Bagiopoulos and his Degelman. Back Rubiano trying to run onto it, but Bahari will gather himself. Over to the far side, Tinmouth. Has support on the outside, uses it now. Is working his way over that far side. Just outside the area, played back, long and ambitious shot from considerable distance. Well out of play there by, I believe that might have been Coburn. I'll check that Brown part of me. A lot of chances from Harbourside coming from distance, from outside. 73rd minute here in Nanaimo. Rivers a 2-0 advantage. The women earlier won 4-1, controlled from the outset. Outside of a span of about 10-15 minutes in the second half, where Rivers began to take the game to Harbourside, scored to make it 3-1. Harbourside in firm control and came away with a 4-1 win. Rubiano, Bahari, Brown, touch pass, check that, Farragher, Rubiano. Farragher wants it. Again, a touch pass. This one not enough on it, but it's put out of play by Rivers. And Harbourside regained through the throw-in. Bahari plays it out to space for Hall. Support over that far side is there. It's taken by Coburn. Working their way through middle. Bahari tried to just roll it off the boot, but was quickly closed down. Tinmouth challenged, threw his hands up saying, not me. But a free kick after looking to see if any advantage was there. Given to Rivers. 74th minute here in Nanaimo. 2-0. Rivers lead. Played down that far side on a long feed from Paredes. Bouncing ball right in the middle. That's for Scott. Check that, pardon me. That's Komita. Check that again, pardon me. Sorry, Kang. Trying to get a read on the numbers. Weir rolls it over to Hole near side. Played up through the middle. Bagiopoulos to himself, intended, got it back for a split second on the clearance. Just couldn't do much to control it, and it's put out of play off a Rivers body after Tinmouth made a play at it. Beijing. It's got Hall. Back to the middle. Bahari has been floating and roving, particularly on this near half of the pitch in the second half. Trying to create something. Scored the first goal in men's program history all the way back at the end of April. Added a penalty later on here as well. Just needs something to spark the offense right now for the home team. Could be messy, could be from distance, could be a rebound. They'll take it. They'll take anything. Bahari played it ahead, but misguided pass intended for Bagiopoulos, and here come the visitors on a counter attack. Vujovic, Played to the middle, good sliding tackle. Tinmouth can't believe his luck. Thought he got ball first. Hall will make the protest as well, but it'll be a free kick 30 yards out. Not a whole ton of action on either sub's bench. Rivers have made 2. They have 5 outfield players available to them as subs heading into today's game. So 3 potentials if you don't count Jumeau, the goalkeeper. Harbourside have made 3. They've got the full 7, including Illich, the goalkeeper. So theoretically, 3 more each side could come in, and we've got 14 minutes left to play plus stoppage. And 1 more will come in for Harbourside momentarily. I believe that'll be Daniel Tumetsuru. Again, one of those players, along with Rubiano, was injured in that early May game, and all that stoppage and all that setup for naught as the ball sails high over the crossbar. He was the other player who was injured in that May game here in Nanaimo, the second of the 2 substitutions early in that one as well, forced Harbourside into a real change of plans. Great to see him back in the lineup. Coburn tracking down a loose ball on that far side, trying to prevent entry into the zone. A long cross, but it's snatched up by Weir. And he'll roll it out and unleash along that far side Tinmouth, but the ball just out of his reach. Goes straight back on the attack, and a long shot, and Weir able to latch onto his right. Rubiano. Hard pass up to Brejean. Last time out in Nanaimo was playing a striker role. This night, more defense, wingback role. As here's a chance. Suka Bahari working his way. Penalty area. Harbourside wanted a call. And sitting on his backside in the penalty area, Suka Bahari pleading with the referee, but no call coming. Just tried to work his way through traffic. Draw an opportunity, draw a call. Couldn't get either. Here's Stegelman. Lofted pass in between both Bahari and the pinching down Rubiano. And now here's a counter attack back the other way. Good chance. Rivers in for a lead, for a 3-0 lead, and it's sent wide. As Hausendorf's chance, great on the counter attack. And Daniel Tumetsuru will make way or come on for Suka Bahari, who has been everywhere and ever-present part of the Harbourside offense. Just hasn't had that one golden opportunity this evening. And Tumetsuru will come on and return back into Nanaimo, as we said, was injured last time out here in the Harbour City. Team being able to use the bye week to get him some extra time and some game action here tonight. Trying to spark the offense. We'll slot in on that left side in the attacking mid-roll, so a like-for-like replacement with Bahari. Tinmouth plays it ahead. Tumetsuru was the intended target, but it's cleared off the boot.
In the game, number 4, Daniel Tumetsuru.
Tumetsuru. Edge of the area. Bagiopoulos. Tinmouth off the left boot. Spills out. Drive off the body. And period and gathered by the goalkeeper. A bit of a messy play. Nobody really knew where it was. Coburn had a chance from a long way out, but never really threatening to net. 10 minutes remaining in regular time. Hausendorf had a great opportunity a few moments ago on a break, but his shot sailed well wide. Rubiano, lead feed, left side, his Bagiopoulos with half a step on a left boot, looking to cross, and it's off a body from Rivers and out of play. It was the captain getting in the way of that one, Jean Peritas. Great chance from Bagiopoulos, probably best of the game for Harbourside. And it comes with 10 minutes remaining. Trying to chase a goal, then you think about an equalizer. Delivered from Rubiano. Far post, headed back into the middle. Still bouncing, threatening, rolling off the back of the head, and it's cleared away. All the way back out to midfield. Hall. Delivered along the right side. Degelman. Play back. Still threatening. Tinmouth. Working his way in. Wanted a free kick. And it will come. Referee just checking on the advantage. But Harbourside, a great opportunity here. 20 yards out. If they can't get it from open play, perhaps the free kick will be what's required. We'll call it 22 yards out. Wall is set. Everybody lining up. 12 yards from goal. Rolled. Left boot all the way along the pitch and cleared away by Rivers. With authority out. Tumetsaru has to hustle back for it. His first there as he beats out his man, Bugveer Sidhu. Hall. Tumetsaru left side. Farragher. Back up the far side, Tinmouth. Tumetsaru. Far wall. Trying to cut their way in. And that was a good chance by Rubiano, but couldn't do much with it. Cleared out. Harbourside continuing to push, getting a lot more offensive half pressure. Just not able to get much through to goalkeeper Marshall Heralds. Colburn ahead. Degelman trying to advance that ball, but it's out of play. Substitutes coming both sides. Bejen will make his way off. Just trying to get a read on those. It'll be Denzel American to come on in favor of, I believe that's Marquez Scott. And then the substitution from Harbourside. Here it is.
Game number 12, Mowbray Behen.
Well, Mowbray Behen has been in the game the whole game. So just a little bit of a mix-up on the subs bench there. Might be Maxwell Dadsey, but we'll again try to get a number. Here's Tinmouth. Over to the near side, intended for Bagiopoulos, finds its way there and now. Bagiopoulos just above the goal line, looked to cross, and it's blocked, put out of play by Elijah Dos Santos. So Bejen is still out there in the number 12. Harbourside just looking to throw anything they can. Delivered low, off a header, still dangerous. Cleared back out is Rubiano left side. Overlaps Bagiopoulos. Rubiano, the little kick up to himself. Trying to generate something, anything. It's cleared all the way down into the Harbourside half. Hall to Coburn. Over that far side, Degelman, the intended target, taken away by Rivers. Still controlling, playing a little keep away. 5 minutes left in regular time. Rivers a 2-0 advantage. A win here for Rivers gets them within a point of Natsamau and gets them to at least temporarily. Here's the sub. So Noah Bilodeau comes in. I believe Declan Brown was the one coming out. Bilodeau playing that ahead as Bagiopoulos watching that one go out. Bilodeau around it as well. Will be out for a throw. So a win here for Rivers puts them a point back of Natsamau. and gets them to join that top group, all separated by points, albeit briefly, because all of those teams, at least most of those teams, will play Saturday into Sunday. The results of those games obviously will dictate where Rivers ends up come the end of the weekend. On a break back the other way. Playing it ahead, Rivers. Great sliding tackle there from Hall. Trying to spill the crumbs and gather. There was Khalil Dos Santos, but couldn't quite control. And it will go out for a throw. 3 minutes and change left before stoppage time. Still subs to make both ways. Neither side, though, a ton of action on their benches. In that far corner. Harbourside just looking to get some sort of control on it. Tume Teru looking to dig a ball out. And it'll be a goal kick. An element of hustle for Harbourside right now. Hall. Crosses back over. Coburn. To the wing. Mitsuru. Hall. He's got Bagiopoulos with him along the left side. Now for Weir. Looking to drive a ball long. On the end of it is Bejan finding himself up in attack. Comes back. Farragher to Rubiano. Muscled off. Lost possession to his opposing number. Is taking it away was Kang. Here come Rivers down the left side with speed. Holding up, though, is Kamita. Check that, pardon me. That's Khalil Dos Santos. And a free kick will come. It'll go against Harbourside. And calling for a sub, Khalil Dos Santos might have pulled a hamstring here. Kind of pulling up along that left side and immediately just sort of made the motion to quickly sub out. He hasn't been on very long, but Khalil Dos Santos, a right hamstring strain or pull here, and he's going to limp his way off. Matthew Hanks, Ethan Furlong are the two that I believe Rivers still have to use, in addition to their goalkeeper, obviously. So Khalil Dos Santos is going to limp his way off. And it is a quick, rapid substitution for Rivers, who head off. We'll just see who comes on over to this right side. Immediately marking Suku Bahari. It's going to be Ethan Furlong. Free kick driven low, but only blue jerseys there. Rivers content to sit in defense.
Rivers substitution into the game, number 20, Ethan Furlong.
Furlong confirmed as the substitute for the injured Dos Santos. And Harbourside trying to generate something very late. Bejan. Rivers scored in stoppage time in the first half to make it a 2-0 advantage. Harbourside need a little bit more help than that, but certainly that goal right at the end of the first half, tough, real tough. Hall has support through Rubiano, uses him. Plays it up and ahead. Bagiopoulos kind of out of that striker role right now into a left winger as Rubiano plays it ahead. Bagiopoulos lets it go. Mowbray might have been the target. Degelman along this near side. Crossed in once more. Tinmouth trying to gather. Couldn't do it. And it's cleared away by Rivers. Back out to midfield, although Harbourside sliding, trying to get it in deep there was Farragher. Rubiano heads it back to Hall. We are at 90 minutes into stoppage time. And the fourth official is about to signal the extra time. Would imagine we'll have maybe 3 or 4 minutes Although I'm not the best guesser at this, it's difficult to kind of keep track. Anytime you think maybe one, it turns out to be 4 or 5. And when you think it's a larger number, it turns out to be 1 or 2. A couple of stoppages here on behalf of Rivers' injuries. I think the referee has signaled either 4 or 5. It is 4. And we are already a minute in.
A minimum of 4 minutes will be added on. 4 minutes added time.
Last-ditch effort here for Harbourside to try and salvage something from this evening. It would take a lot. The team struggling for a little bit of offense continues its challenges here this evening. 4-0 loss a couple of weeks ago, 12 nights ago, against Unity, and now a 2-0 result as we stand right now on home pitch against Rivers. Farragher back to Hall. Timtaru at midfield, trying to generate. Through the middle, Rubiano. Through ball to Timtaru. It was there, but an aggressive Marshall Herald off his goal line, able to gather. He'll take every second. Herald to roll the ball along. Played up down the right side. Challenged there by Farragher. Rivers doing just enough. Doing it relatively comfortably. Alessandro Comita. Coburn back for it. To Hall. Back to Coburn along the right wing. Played it up the touchline. Intercepted though. Coburn aggressively coming in to kick it upfield. Harbourside control. Bejen, long feed, hits Bagiopoulos. Does he have enough room? He does, tracks it down. Bagiopoulos crosses to the middle. Timtaru couldn't connect on it. Kicks back out. Tinmouth's drive. 3 points if it were football. Goal kick here tonight. Entering what was initially now the final minute of our stoppage time. Our clock on screen is within a second of what we've had this second half. So a win for Rivers here will propel them to 3-2-3, a point back of Natsama. Harbourside 1-4-4. Will stay at 7 points, 2 ahead of Altitude. Rivers, one more nail if they have it late in this second half. Dancing his way in, but a shot well wide. Never really threatening the net from Ethan Furl. Weir will deliver a long goal kick out. Degelman spun off a check. Back up to Timtaru. Just heads it. Couldn't get much on it. Coburn down that right side trying to plow his way through. Final whistle could come any second. Tinmouth plays it up and ahead. Timtaru, the intended target, never got its way there. Cleared all the way back down. Referee checks the watch. And it will be a throw. We will keep playing. And it will just be enough to throw. And Rivers, a 2-0 win here in Nanaimo as they beat Harbourside by that score. All the scoring coming in our first half. And scoring troubles for the Harbourside men's team continue. Unable to break the goose egg for their second straight game. A lot of effort, a lot of looks, just couldn't quite find that final touch. Thank you so much for joining us here at Kakinishtuk Stadium in Nanaimo for tonight's League One BC action. My name is Alex Ronsley. It's been a ton of fun to bring you the action here from Nanaimo as Rivers and Harbourside split the evening. The women win 4-1. The men fall by a score of 2-0 from a Harbourside perspective. And for Rivers, they head to Victoria coming up tomorrow with some action through League One on Sunday as well. On behalf of Bjorn Sampson operating camera for us and everybody with Harbourside, we thank you so much for watching or listening, wherever or however you took in tonight's broadcast. A pair of goals in the first period for Rivers, opening the scoring, Aman Sumadeen in the 39th minute, and then late in stoppage time with the final kick of the first half, Bugbir Sidhu making it 2-0, and that's all she wrote for the scoring in this one, as Rivers hold on for a 2-0 win. On behalf of everybody associated with the broadcast, thank you so much for watching or listening. We'll talk to you next time here from Kinnistook, live on League One YouTube. Have a great rest of your Friday evening.